Howdy Redemption Church, Sunday morning volunteers. This is Pastor Paul Bokel, and I want to kind of overview you on the Sunday morning volunteers group and what's going on here. I want to tell you why we're doing what we do, and I want to tell you just a couple things that you're going to need to know about this group. So welcome, and first we want to say thank you so very much for all that you're doing to serve on Sunday mornings, whether you've been doing it for a while now or this is going to be your first Sunday coming up. Whatever that looks like for you, thank you for that. Again, this is not just about filling a role. This is about the gospel. This is about God's love for us. This is about the fact that God loved us so much that He extended hospitality and love and service to us, in that while we were yet sinners, He sent Christ and Christ died for us. And so God did that for us, and now we extend hospitality to others. So if you're a hospitality team, if you're usher team, again, you're putting skin on that in a very noticeable way that people are going to see when they come to Redemption Church, the love of Christ, the hospitality of Christ. If you're serving behind the scenes, you're putting on display in a very realistic way. So if you're serving media or sound team and you're kind of behind the scenes, you're showing that humble service that Christ showed to us. And so this goes beyond just filling a role. This is proclaiming the gospel incarnationally with skin on it to the people who come to church on Sunday morning. Brother to brother, sister to sister, amongst those who are already in the family of God, and also proclaiming the gospel to those who do not know God, who come to Redemption Church on a Sunday morning. So thank you so much for putting skin on the gospel by being a volunteer on Sunday mornings. We thank you so very much for that. Let's talk about a couple things here. I want to tell you why we have this group, why we're doing this on this group on the city, and then I want to talk to you about what you need to know real quick. So first, why are we doing this? Why are we centralizing this into a group on the city? Well, first of all, I want to say that this is to help us mobilize our Sunday morning volunteers. So this is a centralized way for us to mobilize our volunteers so that it's all happening in the same exact place for the sake of excellence. And everybody knows where they're supposed to be, knows the role that they're supposed to fill. And then there's some luxuries to doing it this way here on the city that you'll see. Opportunities to schedule even further out into advance. It takes a little bit of the load off of you. You don't have to respond to a bunch of different emails. It takes the load off of your volunteer leaders. They don't have to send out a bunch of emails or text messages or phone calls or however it is that they're recruiting their volunteers. So this just streamlines everything. It also centralizes everything, and in some internet way it does create a little bit of community. Again, this specific group on the city is not necessarily about community, but you're going to be able to see the faces and partake in some discussion with folks in this group, and in doing that it will foster just a little bit of community. And there's one more person that this is going to benefit. I can't resist. Here's bearded Pastor Jason Black. I'm showing you his face because most of you know Pastor Jason Black, but some of you may not, and I want you to be aware of who he is, because I need to turn this off, don't I? Toggle off the camera here so you can see Jason Black in his bearded glory. Pastor Jason Black no longer has a beard, but you can see that face and recognize him. He is going to be the event kind of coordinator, event oversight for Sunday morning, so look for him. He's going to be able to use this volunteer list on the city, this volunteer group on the city, to know who is supposed to be where each Sunday morning, so that he can make sure that each role is filled and that everybody's exactly where they're supposed to be. So this is going to be a tremendous help to Pastor Jason Black, who in turn will be able to help you with the needs that you have, and encourage you and pray with you, and just come alongside you on Sunday mornings as he kind of coordinates the Sunday morning events. So this is a great way for him to be able to serve us and us to be able to serve him. So thanks, Jables, Pastor Jason Black, for what you're doing there. Okay, so what you need to know, you're going to need to know this. You're going to come in here to your groups. You're going to go to Sunday morning volunteers, and you're going to see, I want you to come up here. They'll show up in your in your main feed here, see how it says all? They'll show up here Sunday morning, but it'll only be the one that's closest. Only the Sunday morning event that is closest. For instance, right now, that one is May the 12th. However, if you click on events, up here at the top, you'll then see them stretching out for several months. May 12th, 19th, 26th, 2nd, etc. So if you are looking to volunteer for a specific day, then go and click on that event, and it'll take you through to where you need to be. And you'll see right under here, right under the map for Redemption Church, you'll see where you can click yes, and then select whichever role it is you wish to fill for that specific day. Coffee, food, front door greeter, parking, media, sound, usher front, ushers from the back, or security. So just put a check mark next to what you wish to fulfill for that day. And then down here at the bottom, please make sure that you are checked on. It should be the default, but make sure that you are checked on. Respond to this event only. Respond to this event only. That's important because that doesn't affect any of the other events. Again, we have a long list of events going months and months into the future, so make sure that you select respond to this event only. Hit respond, and at that point you'll be RSVP'd for the event and assigned that role that you just volunteered for. Now you'll receive an email the day before reminding you that you're supposed to fill that event. Jason Black will be able to get a printout of who is supposed to be exactly where for that specific role. And you can also use the talk about this event section down here below to, if an emergency comes up and you're not able to fulfill the role that you had volunteered for, you can use this discussion forum to try to find someone or inform someone that you're not going to be able to do that. Try to find a substitute if for some reason that was to happen. So there's a lot of things that this offers, so that's going to be incredibly helpful to us. Now I want to tell you one thing. Now if your leader, then they'll communicate this with you as soon as possible. If your community or your service team leader says to you, please do not volunteer for any roles, I will assign them to you. That is the one case where you'll not go in and volunteer on your own. However, if your team leader has not communicated to you the fact that they are the only one that will be assigning roles to your team, then go on here and start volunteering for the roles that you can fill. And this is going to be incredibly helpful as we move forward. And then one last thing here, I just want to show you a reminder of what you can do within your group as far as email settings are concerned. So if you are in the Sunday Morning Volunteers group and you go up here and you click on this email, you'll see several options you can for your email settings. If you choose nothing, you're never going to get any emails about this group. Please don't do that. That's going to put you so far out of the loop that it's ridiculous. However, if you click everything, then you're going to get literally that. You're going to get emails about everything that happens in the group. That might be a little extreme. So choose one of these two in the middle. New things, that's going to only be brand new topics that show up. You're going to get email informing you that they're there, reminding you to check into the city and check on those things. Or daily digest, that means any new things that happen during the day, you'll get a kind of a wrap up, sum up email at the end of the day informing you of what's gone down in the Sunday Morning Volunteer group. That's what I choose for most of my groups. That seems to be the most helpful to me. I can just review it at the end of the day. So again, thank you so much for what you're doing. Invite folks to serve on this team along with you. We'll get them plugged into this group on the city and mobilize our volunteers for Sunday morning in this way. Thank you so much. This is a great way to put skin on the gospel and impress people with the deep love and hospitality of Jesus. And so thank you so much for what you're doing to serve in that way.